Okay, so the form has been made. So I've got my hard board brad nailed and then screwed to my 3/4 inch melamine that's on my benches here. In order to get this level, I just have a 6-foot level going across it, and I've just shimmed underneath the benches, or right here I've got some blocks to get them to the same height because they're two different bench types, and I've got shims under there to put pressure on the bottom of this mold, because if not, I had a much larger gap underneath there. So over here it's touching, and over here it's touching, and then it starts trying to slope in the middle. It was maybe 3/16 of an inch of a slope towards the middle. Now it's greatly reduced. And you can see over there, it's nice and flat all the way across. So this is good enough for me. This 1/16 or 1/32 there isn't gonna make too big of a deal. And then as far as the top of it goes, you can see I've got it pretty level. This side could go up just a tad, but you don't have to get it perfectly level. This stuff isn't self-leveling compound. It is just going to tend to run more one direction, the water will. But it doesn't have to be perfect, just try to get it pretty close. So I made my sink knockout, cutout, whatever, out of 2 pieces of the melamine that I screwed together, and then I positioned it exactly where I wanted it and screwed it down onto the melamine top. And then for my actual sink supply line cutouts, what I did was I used my hole saw and I cut two different sizes, because since anyways, the faucet doesn't have lines that go deep enough, so I had to have them stacked. And you can see this right one is aligned. I've aligned it so it's all nice and straight. This left one is not aligned yet. The nice thing about the screw is I can adjust the screw and move it to where it needs to be so that they're both aligned. The hole saw automatically sticks a hole in the middle of the pieces, and since these are 3/4 inch, it goes to my 1.5 inches to have 2 of them, and that's exactly what I need. I need 3/4 of an inch of the normal hole size, and then a larger hole size for the nut that goes on the bottom of the faucet to screw it down onto the countertop. And there'll still be enough room to put the supply line, screw it on. And then I just have silicone going around there. I do not have any silicone going around these knockouts because that's going to be covered by the faucet. But there's silicone there. And to make this smooth, I just coated it in a very thin layer of silicone. So you see it's slightly darker color. That's because it's coated in silicone all the way around. So anyways, I'm hoping that will give a smooth enough texture to the side of the sink. And I just used a belt sander to round those edges, and then a palm sander to get it a little bit nicer. Here in this inside corner, to get the inside corner, I rounded it by just sanding it with some like 400 grit sandpaper that I had just laying around. And I've just got that block just glued to there to keep that corner straight, because it was wanting to splay in a little bit. And then it's just caulked around the bottom. And on this, I only need the caulking from here to here, here to here, and then over here. That's the only exposed side. These other sides over here, back here, and all along this edge, that's where the backsplash will be going. That's just this back, so it does not need any caulking. I started to silicone that side, and then I was like, oh wait, why am I doing this? It wouldn't necessarily hurt anything, but it's not going to help you because the backsplash will be sitting back there. So I just need those front sides beveled. Let's see. So yeah, now we're just getting ready to pour. But this is the setup that I've got so that I can begin my pour. My hard board that I'm using for the smoothness on the sides, that, like I said before, is cut to 2 1/4, and it's just all flush to the bottom of this melamine, so that gives me a perfect 1.5 inches all the way around. And in a couple of places I think it was just a slight lower, and so I just made it level off with each side that it was touching. So like right here, that's just level, even if the bottom might be, you know, a tad off, which it doesn't look like it is here, but in other places I think there was like a 30-second. I just made it flush to the other piece. Yeah, so this is a total of 2.5 cubic feet of concrete, I believe. So I'm going to need right around 5, maybe a little bit more than 5 bags, because they're about 0.5 cubic feet per bag. So I've got 6 bags, and they gave me an extra bag because it was torn, so they just said, here, take it, because it was the last one on the pallet. So I've got plenty in case. Sometimes I find plastic or paper chunks or something from the manufacturing process that gets thrown into the mortar. Occasionally you'll find like a ripped up like newspaper. I'm not sure what it is. So it's always good to have extra in case you do find that maybe a bag got wet and there are chunks in it or something like that. You can always take it back, get your money back. But man, is it a pain to have to drive into the store just to replace a bag and drive back to continue your project. So yeah, I will now get to mixing and pouring.